This afternoon's tactical enhancement is an ensemble. This afternoon we're playing Victory at Sea. It's a 2,200 point game, but we both rolled up priority missions, so it's more like 2,400. And I'm assisted by Admiral Junior. There will be considerably more cuts and editing today than usual. And Admiral Junior is commanding the Yamato, as one might expect.
Why do you call me Admiral Junior? Why do you call me Admiral Junior?
Alright, Admiral the Younger. How's that sound?
Admiral Lever.
Quite. And we're up against Emilio's Italian fleet. And we're playing somewhere with a lot of tropical islands. I don't know where. But something's gone horribly wrong in the war, and the Italians are now fighting the Japanese. Probably makes more sense than 44. Now the missions. The Italian fleet has to destroy the entire Japanese fleet in order to secure a... yes, I will. In order to secure a major victory, or just get the most points from minor victory. The Japanese fleet has to destroy that one ship there in order to get a major victory, or get the majority of points from minor victory. So I'll just talk through what the Japanese fleet has, and we'll look at the Italians. We have 3 of the larger destroyers with the Type 93 torpedoes. We've got 2 of the Megumi class heavy cruisers, which have got the torpedoes as well, and they're masters.
One of the biggest, powerful ship.
Yeah, it's the most powerful ship ever, the Yamato, in its 43 configuration, where it's got cruiser guns.
Got an aircraft carrier.
And we have an aircraft carrier, yes. So we've got the cruiser guns on the Yamato. Carrier packs something like 16 or 18 odd aircraft. I'll look that up in a minute. But I've paid extra points to have, on top of the usual cap of 2, we've got another 8 flights. Because what will happen is Amelia will prioritise destroying the Japanese destroyers so that he can get more shots earlier onto things like my carrier, to the extent that's a reasonable target. But
Just remember that this ship is worth 2 of that.
yeah, that's right. That ship is worth nearly 2 of those. Because the main thing, the strategy for the Japanese to get in close and be really dangerous is to not get shot at any sooner than you have to, so we use a lot of smoke.
You're not allowed to shoot these, because if you shoot them, it just doesn't.
That's right. So with the islands, you can shoot over the blue bit. That's just shallow water that you can't sail through. But line of sight is blocked by anything green, the green foliage. Anything which is just sand, we presume you can shoot over, because these atolls only had a height of, I don't know, a dozen metres at most.
These missiles can go how much?
There's no missiles. But yes, the range of the battleships is very significant for both fleets, and the Italians have some of the best long-range guns in the game. The Yamato's got long range, mostly because it's bloody big shots. But I've only got one battleship, the Italian fleet. Perhaps if you talk us through the Italian fleet.
So the Littorio class battleships are 550 points each.
Yep.
And
2 of them.
1943, so there's been some upgrades, AA extra for those guys. They are by far my best ships, and they move fast and they hit long range, and they've got plenty of guns. So 1,100 points just sitting there, which is just around about the same price as the Yamato.
Just a bit more, yeah.
But I've got to protect that ship in the game, so that's my objective, but I have to annihilate his fleet to get a major
Yeah, so
victory.
you can't see it in this footage, but that's covered in bullseyes.
So they're both Littorio class battleships. Now these are the next size down. These are 370 points each. And this is the Conte di Cavour class battleship. Still a heavy hitting ship, long range, fast enough. They've also got free upgrades.
Cool.
Little destroyers, they've also got free upgrades as well. They've got AA in their upgrade.
There's probably a thing for paying points for that, but we'll ignore that today.
So, and then you've got a cruiser over here, this particular cruiser. By the way, the upgrade as well, extra torpedoes on these guys.
Really?
Yeah. So instead of 2, they've got 3 each. And then this cruiser is the Zara class cruiser. and not very expensive, 150 points, so it's not going to make too much of a difference in this game, but still fast, bit of flexibility. Then you've got aircraft carrier that's been upgraded to 16 flights. I've decided to go for more fighters that are +2 on the attack. So I've actually got 12 fighters and 4 bombers.
Oh, okay.
So I haven't decided to hit hard and sink things. I've decided for defence. Because I know that Chris is going to have more planes than me. So he's already got an advantage. He's already paid for 8 planes that are out. I've only got 2 out.
Yep.
So he's already got an advantage. Are they fighters or bombers, Chris?
They're all fighters.
Yeah. So he's obviously not going to be able to damage my ships, but the fighter's intent is to win the skies.
Yeah, I wanted to keep your bombers off of my destroyers.
Yeah, so I think my decision to go 12 fighters, 4 bombers is a good decision.
Yeah, we'll see how that
Otherwise
goes.
you would have wiped out my bombers.
Probably.
And there's another cruiser that's here, and that cruiser is a light cruiser. It's a Luigi Cardona light cruiser, 75 points, not significant. And then you've actually got another destroyer with extra torpedoes, and my aircraft carrier 210 points, all up 2,400 points for this fleet.
Lovely. Alright, so what we'll do is we'll roll for initiative for first turn. Leon, do you want to roll the dice for initiative? Roll a 10-sided dice and the highest score is the best. Alright, when we got a 2, okay. That won't help us.
Got a 1.
Oh, well, Amelia got a 1 on his enormous big white dice. Where is it? It's over there. Alright, so we get initiative for turn 1. We will check in at the end of turn 1. End of turn 1, we got the initiative and we moved up our fleet. You'll see the extensive use of smoke as we cover each other from extreme long-range shooting. We only got 1 plane out of this carrier here, and I actually forgot to move my aircraft, so I just shuffled them forward after, just as a bit of a compromise. The Italian fleet got 2 planes airborne and did much the same thing with the carrier. If we decided to go after the carrier, we could probably dedicate some ships to it and get it as a reasonably easy target. But if that were to happen, then he'd have less things basically would have less concentration of force against those, and we're going to need concentration of force on this part of the fleet. The big boy is all the way over here still. There's only some extreme range shooting between the Yamato and that fella. They were the only ones within 30 inches. The Yamato basically blasted all of his AA turrets off, and its range bands are markedly different. This is a much older ship, shorter range, smaller guns, and it just bounced off the Yamato's armour. And that's it. We are now into turn 2. Let's roll for initiative again. Yes, quite. Roll that dice. That's for initiative this turn.
Yay!
Oh, the Italians get 10 and we got 1. Well, I think the Italians have the initiative this turn. We'll check in at the end of turn 2. Alright, end of turn 2. This time the Italians got the initiative, and we're speeding up the game to try and get through it all. Here, Emilio's put his battleships broadside, but then he's protected them with smoke from his cruisers, which is quite good actually.
Now I did that because last turn the Yamato opened fire on one of my heavy cruisers, battleships, they're battleships, and it didn't do a lot of damage, but it could have. So I learned from that. And because the Yamato's got such good range, I figured I'd protect them for now.
Yep.
And the strategy is the Yamato probably will be blocked by the island, which will then allow my battleships some manoeuvrability.
That's right. Now, in the shooting phase, Emilio got both of these side on to the Yamato and put a lot more rounds on it. Took a few hull points off, but the only critical though was he knocked the AA guns out. And that's the local 1. That's now local 0. In return, we didn't do a lot of points of damage, but I think we did knock off a fair bit of... no, we didn't do any criticals. We did bugger all, actually.
Yeah.
Some better news for the Admiral the Younger is we had the dogfight over here where Amelia got in early and just threw his first fighter plane wave in. One-on-one fights for 4 of them. And what happened in the dogfights?
You won.
I won.
Yeah, he smashed 2 of them out of the sky, and the other 2 were ties. So it probably wasn't what Amelia was expecting, actually, because normally he does very well.
I don't lose air fights, so yeah, it did very well.
Yes, so that's that for turn 2.
Just a little strategy while you're filming.
Yeah.
Chris nominated my closest ship to take the hits, but that's not the prize ship. This is the prize ship.
I know,
So
that
I
was
don't know
silly.
if you forgot, but you made it very clear you wanted to target that ship.
I went for the closest, didn't I? Yeah, that was silly. I should have gone for the longer one.
But you need 4 wounds, so it was okay.
That's the prize. Yeah, we were all so crap it didn't make a difference. But we're now on to initiative for turn 3. Admiral the Younger, roll the dice. Alright, we've got a 3 versus a 4. We have the initiative for turn 3. We'll check in after that. Alright, end of turn 3. The Italians got the initiative this time, and it stacks on the Yamato. The only reason that the Yamato is not even suffering even more is because Emilio kind of snooked himself by driving that battleship behind his smoke.
Mistake.
We did damage on the target, but not really all that much. Whereas Emilio, the Yahtzee King, he had one broadside of like 10 dice, but 9 of the damn things hit. Or something like
I've
that.
got 6 criticals, but only 1 landed.
Yeah, only 1 confirmed. Thank God for that.
That's badge rolls.
So that would have made a difference.
Should have been 3.
So yes, we're smashing in the air war as you might expect. We're just mobbing the Italian planes, and that's about it at the moment. Next turn will be interesting because we are set up. The smoke moving at full pelt. He did fire light guns at the destroyers, and I fired some light guns at his destroyers, but they're all too far away to achieve anything. But next turn will be interesting because we are now in strike range for the Type 93 torpedoes to have good odds of doing some damage. And I'm going to have to read the rules for torpedoes again because they're always more dangerous than I think they are.
Yeah.
On that note, let's do initiative for turn 4.
Me?
Yes, that's right. Roll that dice.
4.
We've got a 4.
4, it's
and
even.
a 4. Oh, we've got a reroll. Oh, and it's a 1.
What's off the table? Reroll.
Oh, roll that on the table.
Roll on the table. 4.
4 again.
No, you come on the arm.
Aim for the table,
Aim for the
Admiral.
table.
It's a big table.
Yay!
Oh, well. On that note, we will have some pizza and then we'll play out turn 4.
Okay.
End of turn 4. I'll just change the camera angle for a bit of good lighting. And swings and roundabouts. I was silly in that I didn't shoot this destroyer when I had the chance. So I had the opportunity to shoot him instead of something else, which wouldn't have made a difference to the game. By not shooting him, he got the shots off first and blasted my destroyer out of the water with torpedo, I think, at point-blank range.
Maximum load of torpedoes.
Yeah, a destroyer wasted a Japanese destroyer going at full clip with a couple of torpedoes. So that was good shooting. In the skies, the rear, the young Admiral is commanding, and he's doing pretty well. Lost a couple of flights, but wasted, what, 3?
2. 3. Yes,
3
3.
3 to 2. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
The Yamato has taken large amounts of damage because, you know, the young Admiral is commanding it, and the elder Admiral of the Italian fleet is picking on the boy, and we have been chastising him largely for it, although he is rightly pointing out that
But here's 1,000 points.
if you do give the child command of the biggest target on the table, that's likely to happen. What's that? That's. There's a lot of finger pointing and thumbs down happening here. Yeah, okay. I think we got the hint. Thank you, young Admiral. The good news, though, we dumped torpedoes out of
torpedoes.
5 ships. I actually forgot that I could fire all of the torpedoes, and so some of these only fired half of what they could
We
have
could have
fired.
sunk him sooner, I think.
Yeah, but the end result is we blasted the primary target out of the water.
Yeah.
And in fact, we got him in the end with light guns. He was sitting on one hull point, and then we fired the cruiser guns, and that was just enough 6s to take it out.
Yeah, but my other battleship has actually got no damage, no critical damage.
Yeah,
No critical damage.
but he's all by himself with all of this from the Japanese fleet, and the rest of the Italian fleet's over there on the other side of an island. So that motherfucker is going down. Hopefully, in one turn, we'll see, because we've got quite a few torpedoes we can drop out. But
Yeah.
it also depends on how much Emilio really wants to go for the Yamato as compared to slowing down the
who
amount
wins
of
initiative,
torpedoes.
I think,
And
is good.
initiative is going to be critical.
Yeah.
So we really want the Yamato to live, but it's a hurting puppy at the moment. We're going to have to go on damage control. On that note, it's time to roll initiative. Oh, young Admiral, will you please come out from under the table?
Here we go. He's going to have to beat
All right, mate. Always
5 midway.
Emilio's rolled a 5. Young Admiral, roll the red dice.
Red dice.
And what do you get? 10!
Oh,
Very good. That's what we need. Yes, the Japanese are going first. We'll check in at the end of turn 5. We're interrupting this broadcast to show that the young Admiral has just fired a bunch of torpedoes from that at this ship, who is largely undamaged. Whacked 37 points of damage off. Got some criticals, and the criticals, get the hands out of the way, please. Yes, I know, you're making hand signals.
The 10, yeah.
3 10s. We haven't got any 10s on this bastard so far. Now we've got 3 all in one wallop. All right, my boy, roll these dice and see what you do. A 6 would be nice.
6 would be good. Yeah, there's a 6
Oh my god! You want to know how much damage you did? Well, it's exploded, and on top of that, it had 4d6. And funnily enough, the bridge is destroyed. Wow. That was spectacular. We'll be putting a smoke cloud down for that, and we'll just check in more toward the end of this turn as well. End of turn 5, I think it was, and after the spectacular blasting of the target ship and its best mate, they poured more fire and more fire and more fire on the Yamato, and have actually destroyed the bridge, so it can't do orders. So that was the last time we could do damage control properly.
And it's critical.
Yeah, we did suppress the damage on the weapons, but the engine is at something silly, and the crew is at 6 already, so it's just copying 2d6 a turn until we manage to roll the right dice for that. That's bad. And we're on 37 points of damage, so I kind of need the game to end before I run out of hull points just from burning. The fucking Yamato's on fire from bow to stern, effectively. And of course we won the air war over there. Now these big bruiser old battleships are a bit like the old school American ones. They just pump out a lot of shot, but they're shooting at long range to the stern at the moment, so it could be worse. But yeah, just the sheer volume of gunnery they're pumping out is adding up. And some of Emilio's fleet's miles away from the action, but if I'm not careful, they're going to get to the aircraft carrier. So I need to get it into the smoke and not launching planes anymore. I suspect I may have launched them all already anyway. On that note, we think we've got time to slam out one more turn, and we'll check in after that. Alright, so we played out the last few turns, and turn 6 was the killer. We basically redeployed the entire fleet to drop smoke. I've run out of smoke markers, so that guy had smoke as well. I deployed that guy ready to fire torpedoes, just in case I had to do something. We lost the initiative for this turn. But the bottom line is, everybody, the Yamato's blowing smoke, the destroyer's blowing smoke to conceal the Yamato, the cruisers are blowing smoke. We are running away of what's left of Emilio's fleet, because we've achieved our primary and secondary objectives, and if we get out of Dodge, we get a major victory. But we did have some turns left. We got rid of one of the escalations on the Yamato, another one is still going, so it's copying 3d6 a turn. It copped a lot of damage. It's actually down to 16 hull points, and it's got one area which is continuing to escalate, that's crew, and is on 6, so the ship is still burning. The Yamato is on fire.
One more turn, it was gone.
And we're arguing about whether or not the counter is destroyed or not. You know what, let's do turn 8, see whether we stop the escalation.
Yeah.
Nope.
It's
so it takes 3d6.
There we go.
Here we go. And it takes 5, 6, 7, 8. It's still there.
Still burning.
It's still burning. It has, the Yamato is on 8 points out of the glorious 146 it started on at the end of turn 8. I think realistically the Yamato's cooked.
Yeah.
So
it still would have been on the table edge.
If in an unlimited number of turns it's gone. There's no way I'm stopping that. And we're going to have to run donuts pouring smoke over it while we sacrifice some more ships to try and keep it there. So the Japanese scored 1,340, of which 240 were actually fighters. Yeah. The Italians scored 60 in fighters, 50 in a destroyer that was cooked, and plus or minus 1,000 points for the Yamato. So it's still a victory for the Japanese, but by what measure depends entirely on what we make of the Yamato. Which, you know what? That Yamato soaked up a staggering amount of firepower.
Yeah, 3 battleships basically had viable hits on it.
Yep. And in fact, you had a 4th battleship firing at it for a while.
If you didn't screen it at the end, it would have dropped.
It would have blown. It would have gone. this is where we decided, turn 6, I'm getting the hell out of here, because if I'd gone back into battle, I would have had to soak up fire for a turn, and then I would have dropped another round of torpedoes.
Still 2 strong, viable battleships, which don't underestimate the Italians for range.
No, they've got a lot of firepower. And with some clever manoeuvring, maybe I would have got them, maybe I would have got wasted. But there's a point where you got to say, you know what? We can leave now and be happy, or we can chance it all, and who knows?
Well, I could have gone... You could
double
have
or nothing.
You would have gone from major victory to minor victory. That was the only outcome.
Well, I might have lost completely, actually, because you theoretically could have annihilated my whole fleet.
If it was more than 8 turns, probably. Hello.
So there we go. That's it. That's wrapped up. And that's all the fighters that are running for their life at the moment. They're getting the hell out of there.
And the turning point was, believe it or not, Leon rolling 3 zeros.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Critical against my second battleship, and that was the turning point in the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think we probably could have wasted it with all our torpedoes. Then we would have had less of the remainder of your fleet.
Because I still would have had a battleship obstacle here, and that could have still done enough damage to take that Yamato out.
That's true. It would have been trickier and would be firing at close range at the destroyers that are giving it cover.
So it was a turning point. Absolute turning point.
It was. Well, it was spectacular.
I haven't seen 3 zeros in one turn in this game.
No, we've seen the one where we kept blowing up your ship on the first turn.
Yeah, 1-0.
And then we 3 times in a row. Anyway, that aside, what have we learned?
Air superiority was the first for the Japanese. Normally the Italians do very well, but Chris invested on how many? 8 planes to start with?
8 additional planes plus the cap.
So that gave him air superiority from turn 1.
Yep.
He made a mistake of only using fighters. If he actually had some bombers, he could have used those bombers at the end.
That's true. I invested so heavy in fighters, so I didn't think to include any bombers on the ships. I was thinking you might do the same thing back to me, but
I just assumed that we'd be even in the sky, because I normally would have an advantage, but you outnumbered me and outdiced me in the sky.
Yeah, I mobbed them.
If you had bombers, you would have advantage.
Interestingly, if you stopped sending planes up, I wouldn't have had anything to kill.
Yeah. But the other thing as well, I actually outnumbered you with battleships. I had 4.
Yes, there's a huge amount of firepower.
Yeah.
If I might say, splitting your fleet didn't work out too well. I think you could have concealed
the cruisers weren't doing anything.
Yep.
The battleships were in the game, but they could have
long range. Yeah.
Because I could have sacrificed them.
So I managed to section off your 2 big boys, and they're the only things I really killed.
Yeah, and I did most of my damage probably in turn 3, turn 4.
Yeah,
so I should have used them and committed them in turn 3, turn 4, but actually we were too far away and you were screening, so I didn't get as many dice in the end.
Well, I think it was a very interesting game. Showed the game mechanics very nicely. I think swarming battleships with light torpedo carriers remains a nasty tactic for the Japanese to employ.
And torpedoes is what sank my battleships in the end.
Yep.
It wasn't actually the Yamato, it was the torpedoes that did
Well, okay, there is a cruiser gunnery guy who's saying, that was my shell, that took the last point off of one of your battleships, but...
It was the torpedoes that did the damage at close range.
We'll give him a medal and shut him up. Alright, well, thanks very much for watching. Do hit like, subscribe, etc., etc., and... it's definitely time to call it a day.